Okay, good. Good. Excuse me one moment. Just wait. Hey, it works now. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Rotary. We're so glad you're here. So like usual, we will do our Pledge of Allegiance and four-way test. Today, Chris is going to be reading a virtue. You can see him running out the door there. Chris is going to read a virtue. And Jessica is going to do a blessing for us. Thank you very much. We'll have announcements and fellowship with David Connolly. Back to David today, not Dennis. Dad joke. And we are so excited to have our guest speakers here today from Wano. So thank you. All right, let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is it the truth? Will it know goodwill and better? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Hey, and I'm heading back to Chris. Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Today's virtue reading is about beauty. Beauty is a sense of wonder and reverence for the harmony, color, and loveliness of the world. Beauty opens us to the deep patterns of life that inform and delight us. It allows us to feel our connectedness with all creation. It calls us to look beyond superficial appearance and to appreciate the gifts in each person. Our creativity brings forth beauty in music, art, dance, and language. We practice beauty by creating a space of grace and order around us. We can reflect beauty in the way we dress, move, and speak. Living beautifully is a unique expression of our divine nature. The human soul needs actual beauty more than breath, D.H. Lawrence. The practice of beauty. I spend time in the beauty of nature. I am inspired by the mysteries of life. I look for the good within everyone. I express my own creativity. I create a space of beauty and order around me. I speak and act generously. I am thankful for the gift of beauty. It nourishes my soul.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, today I have an Irish blessing for you. May love and laughter light your days and warm your heart and home. May good and faithful friends be yours wherever you may roam. May peace and plenty bless your world with joy that long endures. May all life's passing seasons bring the best to you and yours.
Thank you so much, Jessica. I appreciate that. Okay, we can all relax and take a seat. Thank you very much. And club announcements. Does anybody have any club announcements? Oh my God. Announcements over here. We'll start with these.
All right, so club announcement with the Rotary Youth Exchange. Some of you on the board probably already know this, but our exchange family, our host family right now, the mom is pregnant with twins. And we are needing to find another host family shortly after Christmas for our exchange student Jean from Thailand. So the caveat is that we need a host family ideally to take Jean maybe through June. Maybe we can get two families to kind of take that term, but we need these families to be fully vaccinated, kids included. So that is the one problem that we've kind of run into over the past few months. So if you know somebody that is interested, has an extra room, and is fully vaccinated, willing to take Jean, that would be super helpful. So got some figures coming, so I might be talking to them. Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. Just an announcement. We'd like to do some equipment used warmer community gear that was donated by River Valley Church and our Savior's Lutheran Church. So tomorrow we'd like to have some of that at 4 o'clock at Alliance Bank. If we get quite a few people there, it'll go quickly, probably an hour at the most. If we don't, we'll probably do another event early on next week, but really would like to get that wrapped up prior to Thanksgiving, and it's snowing outside. Just wanted to announce and invite to the table. I put some flyers. Our friends from the Exchange Club of Fairville wanted to ask if I would extend an invitation to everyone in our group to join them on Tuesday of next week for their 34th annual One Nation Under God prayer breakfast. That's happening. The information is on that sheet. We'll be at Bashers starting at 6:30 a.m. on Tuesday of next week, the 22nd of November. Tickets are $15. That includes breakfast, and there'll be a talk that morning from our local businessmen. And I do have some tickets. And so if you're interested and you'd like to purchase a ticket, you can get that from me today, or you can purchase them at the door. I have about a dozen tickets. So if you're interested, hit me up after our meeting here today, and everyone's invited to join our Exchange Club of Fairville for this event. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other club announcements? Dr. Hanson. Yes.
You should have received your email for the Christmas concert that will be on December 14th. Our Saviors. This is a shorter version of what I sent out. Dr. Martha Brown is going to take over for Don Johnson, who's been our host over 35 years. She is also the accompanist for the choir, or as Kurt likes to say, piano player. Yeah. So she will handle everything on that end. I'm collecting the invites, so you can get emails and very answer. So the first round went out. We have a dozen responses so far. Please look at your emails and answer. And we hope you can come. We've been doing this for 82 years.
Thank you so much. You all know I'm a very eloquent speaker, right? But I just struggle with that word accompanied. Yeah. So if anybody wants to give me on that word, I will pay you handsomely. Any other club announcements? No. Okay, all right. I'm turning it over to Mr. David Conley for welcome.
Would you like me to say a word about the happy dollars? today?
Yes, absolutely.
At our board meeting today, we decided that today's happy dollars would be for the Falcon's Nest. You may remember that the Falcon's Nest is a place where young people at our local high school, Fairville High School, can go and get hygiene items, coats and mittens and other things that their families are unable to provide for them. And with it getting cold, we can imagine that that's pretty tough on many kids. So give generously to that, please. Just as a word, Fourth Avenue United Methodist Church has put forth $800 toward stocking Falcon's Nest. And right now, the Rotary Club is considering doing something similar. And what you do will be in addition to that. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Pastor Greg. And David.
Thank you, President Albertson. Actually, one last announcement too. I was on the radio today with Florida this morning, talking about our little challenge with the Lions Club this Saturday. So I'm going to mix around. There are a couple open spots, the more the merrier. Traditionally, the Salvation Army looking for about $60 an hour in those cattle. We're going to do 100. Okay, so tell your friends. We'll put something out on Facebook. That's good. Yeah, go grab those Thanksgiving supplies. So I'm going to start that here and also start our next with Laura.
All right, I have $25 for the nest, so I hope that you guys will all dig deep. Usually warm gear from Walmart community, and there's going to be some going there, but usually we provided some of that extra to them, and we didn't do it quite that way this year, so that money will be well spent on warming your gear for this morning. So teenagers are all very close, but I'll darn it. Yeah.
Well, for the nest and Nancy told me I have to build this tomorrow.
Right.
I'm not gonna go from the Laura, $30. And my money is for Laura because of what she did for the levy. We talked about that a little bit last week or the week before, but Laura put in a ton of work on that and is personally really appreciated her effort. And I know that was very difficult, not always the most fun thing to do, but she did a wonderful job. Thanks, Laura.
Real quick before we get to your money, Lisa, I actually paid attention to the NFL this week, and it was nice to see that McCarthy actually coached the game that allowed the Packers to win.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, it's a rough year for the Packers. I got some money for the nest as well, and some of that's some $50. Yesterday, I literally fried my computer charger, plugged it in, and saw sparks. Oh, and so my laptop was fully out of juice, and I'm like, okay, I have a Zoom presentation I need to do first morning. I've got a backup plan if I need it. Went down, called Betty's this morning. Betty had my charger in stock.
Wow.
Now, what?
Right. Next, see. Quick view of yes. Here, would you like to introduce?
Yes, so I have a guest today, and it is my husband. Brett, and he is amazing, and I love him, he's so kind, he does such a great job, our kids. And he is joining us today because he really wanted to hear James and Sabah. So I have $1 for my husband, and then I have $1 for Sabah, because I'm so glad that she is here filling in for the all. She is a very, very wise woman, and she loves giving back to her community. So she is amazing, and I can't wait for you to hear everything she has to share today.
Very looking forward to this.
Should we say hi? Hi, Brett.
Let's say hi to Brett.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Sabah. Hi, Sabah. And hi, James. Hi, James.
So I'm doing $20 for the nest, and also we're happy that our event went very well this weekend for pushback, so very thankful.
Lisa.
Some money for the nest.
You can say so.
Just money for the nest.
Gregory.
$25 for this.
Oh.
Hey.
Yes.
How are you today? First, are you ready for the bell ring and putting them in the kettle?
Gotta get some practice for it.
David, there's some money on
I
the
got so much money in this kettle.
I would like to call your attention to the flyer on the table. I only have a few left, and so take it if you can. It is about the free community Thanksgiving dinner. And I just want to remind you that this is entirely free and open to everyone. You don't have to be in need or be alone to go. You can bring your family, you can go with friends. If you have time to volunteer, that's great, but it's not a requirement. It's just a wonderful community activity. I really want to shout out to Travis and Laura McCauley, who are the organizers of that, and it's just such a generous opportunity for the community to come together. And if you have people that you can invite and encourage to attend, that would be wonderful. I also would like to say hello to my friends from Milano. And then what a surprise today to see Savannah. So Savannah, yes, I can't say enough about how fabulous you are. She is a alum of our Faribault Teacher Leadership class, and I just enjoyed so much getting to know her. And in fact, I have a lovely gift from her on my dining room table right now. She's just a beautiful person. And then James, today, I think that you will also be sharing information about Mono. And I have done a little bit of volunteering there, and I just find it to be a absolutely wonderful environment for the students that they serve. Thank you for your leadership.
Good, I guess.
I do, put some money in there for the nest, but also, and thanks for, yes, this is Mark York, he's my partner, and he is visiting from New Zealand. So he would all say hello to Mark. Hi, Mark.
Afternoon, Mark, how are you?
And my wife is at a church, this week, and I was also there, maybe that's up. And, they're getting ready for the admin sale, which will be a week Saturday. So,
Want the last word, George, or do you want to go right now? I'll get right back on over. Gonna get our go for update. There we go. Good update. All right, Dr. Houston. Orange.
no.
Helen?
I am glad to be back. Thank you guys for the flowers. Really cheered me up. I put in some money in there for the nest. No, I agree with you. Teenagers don't like my clothes, but they need them. So, also, I wanted to just announce that my son, Sam Bondis, is going to be opening for C. Willie Miles this Saturday night at the Paradise Center for the Arts. And it starts at 7:30. So it's a great show and lots of laughs. So hope you guys know. Thanks.
And then I just need to, I should have done this in announcements, but there's only 2 meetings in December. So if I had you signed up on health services, except for Peter, you get a break. So you get the month off, Peter and I get it. And then as far as fellowship, I'll work that out. Just have it. I do it, or if David wants to take the summer, so, okay?
Only one.
It's only one time because the 14th is the conference. Thank you.
Great opportunities. Okay, so Dr. Hanson, I haven't watched the Vikings game in about 5 years, and with 38 seconds left, I knew that they were gonna be able to allow the Bills all the way down the field. What a game, right?
Kept watching that game. It was one of those where I felt like they're supposed to win. They're supposed to win, even when they did score right on the goal lines. Supposed to win. So, and somehow this week they're 2-point underdog to the Cowboys at home, so they need to smack them around a little bit to get some. My dollar's in there for business after hours. It isn't too often the Rich Ag Clinic now lays it host, but tomorrow night, 4:30. At our clinic, we're hosting, and the coffee bar that we have out in the foyer has an open tab. Courtesy of Dr. Ritchie, so if you're interested in a free coffee and to try something out, you might want to stop by even for that. But we'll give tours and there'll be plenty of food, so hopefully you can stop by.
I believe the copy of that is from fellow Oregons.
Anybody else today? We're excited about our speaker, so let's get on to the dad joke and never gas. And a few bucks here. One is for Dr. Houston's tie. That's a really cool tie. And it's not a competition today because obviously
Dr. Hanson isn't participating, but I just want to highlight that. And then also, oh, yes, okay,
Last word.
okay, also our guests. Thank you for joining us, Brett. And was it Mark from New Zealand?
Yes.
Yes, so Mark, there used to be a show on HBO called Play the Concords, which was about a band from New Zealand trying to make it in New York, and really enjoyed that. I don't know if you know them or not. And so great show, and excited to have you visiting us. Thank you. And for Sabah and James, so excited to have you both here. It sounds like every one of our guests would be a wonderful Rotarian, and so you have to be careful coming to Rotary as a guest, because pretty soon then you're a member and you just get sucked in. But it's a wonderful group of people, and happy for all of us to be among friends today. So, my dad joke for today is a, oh, it's gone. It is, but, oh, the dad joke for today was actually submitted from our very own Rebecca. And so he had texted it to me, so I can just pull it up here. All is not lost. Okay, so thank you for your patience here. So, why are all winners weird? Okay, think about that. Why are all winners weird? Because you have to be odd to be number one. Yeah, so, yeah, all right, so you can thank Rebecca for that one. Right, tell her that she got a really strong.
I got it
today,
yesterday too.
a positive role, so, okay, so let's welcome our guest speakers up. If you'd like, you're welcome to come on up here. This microphone's on, and so is this one, and I'll get your presentation set up for you. So when you're ready to advance the slide.
Because of the. All the way up here. Well, thank you everyone for having us. I'm just gonna be giving this presentation with Fadil, who's our executive director at WANO. And he called me last night and said it wasn't gonna work, so I was able to find the replacement and couldn't pick a better one. So my name is James Whelan, and I'm about 26 years old and grew up in the region. And graduated high school in Farmington, and now I'm living here. And so instead of Fadil, Sabah will be joining me for the presentation. And I guess I'll talk a little bit about Fadil as I've heard about it. So he arrived in the early 2000s, and he's from a refugee camp in eastern Kenya and the western border of Somalia, I forget the name. But he arrived and pretty started high school without the ability to read or write. And it's a nice saga, but he, through discipline and hard work, he got his high school diploma after starting as like a senior, and he was able to learn English and finish high school. So he kind of started with a vision, and through a outcry from the community, came down to Faribault to start WANO Learning Center. And he done other work through in the eastern part of Africa, supplying clothes and food and doing various service in that part of the world through the WANO Foundation. And now started this learning center in Faribault because of a lot of reports of the need for homework help and that kind of thing. So here's him with some of our students. And this was a picture that was taken at the end of last school year. Here's another picture of Fadil on the right. And let's see. So I have a family, some of my family is from Faribault, in fact, or closer to Kilkenny, if anyone knows where that is, I'm sure you do. My grandma, you know, so she kind of finished out her teaching career and everything up in Wadena. And was instrumental in helping me to grow up and become a good student and, you know, have character. And she is, you know, is buried here. And so is a majority of her side of the family. And her father passed away, actually in a motor vehicle accident just outside of town, around 1960 or so. So they had a bigger family, but that kind of tragedy wound up happening, unfortunately. Otherwise, it's kind of nice that, you know, the stories come in full circle in a way, because I wound up coming down to Faribault through unexpected means, and would like to talk a little bit more about that. So this is a picture from my high school graduation. And some of my friends staying, got a nice picture. It was unintentional, but it wound up happening. And I like to tell a little, it was a trip that I took last December to Egypt. Those are on the pyramid, just outside of Cairo. And what's amazing about this city is that there is a long founded part of the city that you need to go through. It's called Garbage City. And when you drive by, you see these old abandoned crumbling skyscrapers or stone skyscrapers. And you look down and you say, what's that? And you realize that they're full of garbage bags. They are replete with them. And so this city started with, you know, various Coptic Christians living down there. And they just decided to start sorting trash. And that's what they do for a living. And they sort it and they recycle it. And it's amazing what they are able to reuse. And there's only one way to get to what is called the Cave Church in Cairo, and it's through Garbage City. And so you go through Garbage City, which is actually pretty clean, and you wind up getting to this. Yeah, and the only way to get here is through Garbage City. Now, the person that the mythology that happened here is there was a man named Saint Samaon, who was an Egyptian, and he went blind because he made himself blind because of a commandment. So he was at the church one day and he was trying to obey a commandment to gouge out your eye if it caused you to sin. And so the story goes that he actually did that. And later on, there was somewhat of a wager, or a bet, about another kind of instruction from the Lord, who said that if you have faith as a mustard seed, you command this mountain to be cast into the sea. And so the story goes that someone said, is that really true? And so he fasted Saint Simon and he prayed. And apparently half of this mountain space came off. And that's how this came to be. And there's all sorts of beautiful iconography around here. It's a delight. This is part of the winter hole where they go in the winter time. And so Sabah is going to talk a little bit about our programming, which is pretty simple at the time. But I just like to show kind of the need in Faribault. So obviously there's a big discrepancy in graduation rates between white students and English learning students, Hispanic and Black students. And so that's why I'm still kind of marveling about my dear friend Fadel, who without planning, bureaucracy, a lot of paperwork, he said, I have some money. I'm opening up a learning center in downtown Faribault, and he invited students to come in.
Hi, my name is Sabah Umar. He only told me yesterday. I don't know what to say, but I will try my best. So if I talk about Guano is, learning center, like they help after school program. So my kids told me, Mom, can we go Guano? And I say, what they do, they help the homework. So I bring there my kids because I told smaller community, you can guys bring your kids over there because a lot of parents, they don't know how to do. They can't help their kids homework, even they don't know if they have homework or not. If they ask them, you have homework, Mom, I'm done, but they don't. Even if they try to call the schools, like Somali translator, saying, oh, you kids has F, this class, this class, this class. Even they don't know what the F means, So that's why a lot of kids, they are very slow and, they don't have good grade. But Guano is really when I bring my kids there, I know how to check it and I know how to do the grade. But I show the other parents, even I know I can do their homeworks, when I say like, I'm from Africa, even I can help the kindergarten. I graduated high school, United States, like Wisconsin, but like my 2008, that time the test is not hard, it's very easy. I don't know, Minnesota is so hard, but I have full-time job. I don't have time to help with my kids, but I'm better than a lot of parents because I know if my kid missing class, if they have missing, but when they help a lot of parents is like help them homework. We have a lot of help from a lot of students from Northfield College, so they help the student. So it's really good. I'm so happy we have Guano because a lot of students, they have good grade now, they know where they can go. I hope we can get bigger than that because a lot of people need it. So the reason they have Black American, whatever is over there, it is super low because about the parents. Because the parents, they don't know how to do the homework. They can't check, they thinking what the kids told them is true. But we have James and Father right now. And I hear you guys help us money, I think. I really appreciate it. All of you. And I love all Faribault work together. We are all one. White or black or whatever it is, we are one. We live in Faribault. We are family. So some students like they get good grade, they are our kids, whatever whoever it is. Thank you so much.
Yeah, but so we opened last fall, 2021. And like I said, just opened the center and just quickly the students were given a more amenable place to work on their homework and just get a little bit of help and guidance, a little bit of encouragement to be focused. And last spring, after having reached out to some of the colleges in Northfield, namely St. Olaf and Carleton, we were able to make some really nice connections to bring in a large swath of volunteers, including members from the community who are willing to come and help us out here. This year, we continued that work with the volunteer scheme, and in fact, there's a coalition that's kind of developed between St. Olaf and Carleton, a first of its kind, for the sake of providing us with the help which which the students need. More focused on literacy, more focused on helping the district and becoming a buttress to the district. And we've also been heartily supported by the Healthy Community Initiative, also based out of Northfield, which has allowed us to pay for some part-time tutors, which is, direly needed. Kind of wrapping up, I think, but we're just very grateful to Rotary Club that you and your Rotarians and your service and your generosity is able to support us through this fall time so far. And we wanted to come and show you that we're certainly not working in futility, but we're working, and there are many testimonies from the students coming out about some of the help that they're receiving through ONO. But it's from Rotary and their help, and the generosity of so many people have stepped forward to say, here I am, and to help us out in a time of need, so that we're able to continue to develop our ideas and the structure of our programming. You think about this a little bit. So this is some of the members of a parent council which we formed, about half of them, and this was done mostly for the sake of helping us to disseminate information, communicate. Just another bridge for counselors from the school district, teachers, to be basically liaisons or mediators, people that help us to stretch out a hand and to understand, to communicate, and also to put together community meetings for the sake of larger pieces of information that the community needs to hear about. And this was kind of the brainchild of Fado too. So one thing we recently did was able to talk to some of the members of the school district and talk to them about digital literacy for parents, and some of the English language specialists and digital learning specialists. And I had the idea of exactly what Sabah was talking about, that parents don't know what's going on. So how can we cue them in? Well, let's get them the same resources, even on their phone, so they can see what their students are, how their students are doing academically with grades and parties and absences and stuff like that, for the sake of loving accountability, saying, here, look at this, I see I'm missing. So we thought that was good. And so one of the things we were able to do with our parent council was get that word out about that meeting. And so that parents were able to hear about that opportunity to see exactly how their students were doing. What's next? Well, we are hoping and have an ambitious hope to increase the graduation rates alongside the district. And we are happy that that partnership is developing day by day. And just as we've been speaking about, to empower parents to have a better understanding and diligence about their students' academics. We continuing to work on our leadership model, which we trialed this summertime, and we would like to continue to form small teams of students under a mentor or a leader. And it would just be such a wonderful thing if, we had some students who were going out to Reliance Bank on Saturday to help with clothes or this Saturday. And we believe that service in that way can help to change a person's heart. And so we have students asking, what else can I do? There's students who are who were struggling academically and now have kind of got that under their feet with just a little bit of adjustment and focus. And now they're saying, what more is there? How can I volunteer? And so I had a student ask me that this week, what kind of volunteer opportunities are there? And so that is why we would like to make Wano a permanent community asset for sustainability. And also, just again, thank you Rotary for its support and hoping to make the connection for the sake of our hope to making Wano into a factory for leadership development and even service going forward, making servant leaders out of the youth in Faribault. So if you'd like to come volunteer at Wano, you can be in touch. And my email is up here. We're open Monday through Thursday, 3:30 to 6:30. You're welcome to stop by anytime. Or reach out to Fadil or I. I'd be happy to get you more contact information or any other information that you might need or questions that you might have in priority to come in. And I think that'll do it.
James, tell us where you are, what's the location?
Yes, the location is just left of Al Medina and downtown Faribault, just right of the Paradise Center, just one door down.
How do the students get to you around 3:30? Do their parents have to bring them? They hopefully not walk, but
No, it's
how do they get to you?
mostly community directed transportation. So yeah, so mostly through parents and then kind of help facilitate them getting home too.
Sure. Okay.
Yes, sir.
What does the word Wano mean? Where did it come from?
Yeah, Wano meaning is like advice or help to the community or student, whatever.
So not an acronym, but a Somali word,
Yeah.
meaning advice or consultation.
Yeah. Students just come, right? They don't have to be referred by anyone. It's open to all Somali students.
And not just Somali students. But we,
Any student.
yeah, these students could come and get the help they need. Go, George. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you have any relationship with the people out at the lodge? You work with them, I think you're retired and my understanding anyway.
Yeah, there is probably little room for collaboration there. Yes, sir. There's probably little room for collaboration there because the spiritual leaders at the mosque would prefer that students be at the mosque after school rather than a learning center.
I had a meeting with also, I met with about Obama, Bashir Obama, and got him about 4 or 5 times. I've been with the mosque about twice, so I'll try to find a little more about that.
Thank you.
James, you and I have had some conversations. Would you be willing to share with us a little bit about how you personally got connected early in life to the Somali people?
Yeah, so actually Sabah doesn't know, but through difficulties and contention with in my own house growing up, I was kind of not really welcome in high school in my own house. And so I had a dear friend named Abdi Aziz, who I was working with at Valley Fair when I was 15 and 16, 17. And it was the summer of 2013. And I was invited with a lot of hospitality into his home. And we basically did the whole season of Ramadan together, the summer of 2013. And his parents were extremely, even asking him, to let me have his beds. And I was sleeping on the floor one night. And his mom came in and she's like, "What's that? That's not okay. He's taking your bed." So that's kind of how I first had a heart for the Somali people. And through college, I had friends, and coming down to Faribault and Wano, Fadil and I have a mutual friend, and Fadil was on the phone. Fadil called him when we were in my friend's office, And Father was looking for tutors, and my friend says, I might know just the guy. And so my friend and I came down the very next day and were able to meet Fado. And were able to, I said I would start. Yes, George.
One more question. Over time, there's gotta be a blending of cultures. Is anything being done about that now? Is that part of your purpose? They have entirely different culture than we do.
Not expressly part of our purpose. I think we're focused on education.
I didn't hear you.
Not expressly part of our purpose. I think we're focused on education.
Well, let's hear a round of applause for our wonderful guest. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
We'd love to have you back anytime, along with our guests, and it's very easy to become a member. Typically, if somebody goes to lunch or breakfast with Dr. Houston, they become a member. That's the point of no return, so. So, thank you. Thank you all so much. I would like all of us to go forward, be kind, and we'll see you all again soon.